Okay, Coach, we try to find the most quietest spot possible. So we're in a room, one of my offices. I have a line laid out right here. One of the things that we're working on was Aaron. Aaron came in and threw tonight. I did not video him right away. I wanted to see where he was at with it. It was exactly what we was talking about before. What he's doing is when he comes through his mechanics, as he starts through his mechanics, it comes around, he's off a little bit because he's moving so quick through his mechanics. His front toes are coming up. What it's doing is it's actually pulling him towards the third base side. And so what he's doing to compensate with that is he's actually pushing his foot down, leading with his heel and foot open already. And so when he gets to his stride point, he's up on his front side and he's having to actually drop down 3/4 to come back around his front foot. So what we've done already is we've thrown a little bit, instant change and just a couple little things. What we've done is we've actually taken him, and when he gets to where I'm going to go through phases. If you worked with or watched any of Bragg Stockton stuff, this would be familiar, or Rainer Nobles. There's phases in his pitching. He's going to go through the phase one. It's a short, small step. Right now we've actually been working out of the stretch, so I'm going to go back to the stretch. What we're doing is it's going to go short step here. Let me do one thing. Let me make sure that thing is picking my face up. You can go over there and stand right there real quick. I want to make sure it's picking my face up. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that, Coach. All right. So what we're doing is coming out of the stretch. This is phase one. Basically, he's looking in. If he's coming out of the pen, he'll be out of the stretch. If he's, of course, out of the windup and he's got a runner on first, he gets a runner on first, he's going to go to the stretch. Real quick, when I teach the stretch, one of the things that I teach is that you leg lift with a runner on second, you leg lift with a runner on third. You go to a short 2.5 with a runner on first. I don't like to leg lift with a runner with a right-handed pitcher. I like to do the slide step, but it's a better version, so you get more power out of it. What we're going to do is we're going to go phase two. So he's going to come set. He's good and balanced. His feet are not too far apart. The wider his feet are apart, the more unbalanced he is when he actually raises his leg up to come forward. So he goes ahead and comes set to a good balanced position. When he goes into what I call the phase, so this is phase one all the way, then he's going to go to phase two. Phase two is his leg lift. It's not a leg kick. If he leg kicks, he'll have a tendency to raise his toes up. When he raises his toes up, of course we talked about that already, his balance falls. So what he's doing is he's lifting his leg. He's actually lifting with his thigh muscles, and therefore his foot is dragging and his toes are pointed down. So like we talked on the phone the other night, we want his toes down. His toes are going to go down while his hands go up. He closes off a little bit. His knees pointing more between the shortstop and the third baseman. Not third base bag, is more back a little bit so he can go ahead and load his core. His foot goes up, his hands go up. So now his toes are down. His next move is going to go to the 2.5. So with his 2.5, what he's going to do, he's actually going to shove his foot down. His toes are curled up in his shoe to make him push his foot down and not allow his heel to go down first. So his toes are going to go down, and as his toes go down, he's going to separate. As he separates, the hand's going to go back behind him. He's not going to go back to the cobra's fangs or crosshairs or what a lot of guys teach. It has a tendency to roll your shoulder in and roll your elbow out. A lot of guys end up inverting because of that. So what I teach is a gradual movement back so he can have a good rotational period with his ball, or an orbit. I call it an orbit with the ball. So he's going to come up into the 2. He's going to go down into the 2.5. If you notice, the glove's a little higher than the elbow. I do that for the simple fact of keeping his body straight up and down. If the glove's below the elbow, it has a tendency to roll his chest in. And his next move coming forward is to step off line again. You see I got the board here to show on line. So what I'll do is he'll go 2, 2.5, As he's into this 2.5, what he's going to do is he's going to allow his back knee, and I'll go from the side view. If this was the mound, if this was the rubber, he's going to allow, as he comes to that 2.5, if you see my toes are not out here yet. They're still going down, and that's a point to go forward from. So it's down and out, not out. When you go out, you have a tendency for your back knee to go the other way. Therefore, your weight pushes up. So what we want to do is we want to push forward. So he's going to go down, and as he goes down, he's going to make sure that his back knee starts forward, but his weight stays over his back foot. So the center of his gravity is still over his back foot, with his back knee going forward and heel going out. Now, so he'll go up 2, 2.5. Ball's down here. It's hidden well from the batter. It's not out here. His elbow's not out here. Ball's not out over here. His arm's not straight. He's in a position. If he threw an overhand right as a boxer, he would have all his power in behind it. So he's here. As he starts forward with his heel going out, you'll see the weight is back. Main reason why the weight is back, because when his foot hits going downhill, he'll actually be level. A lot of guys teach that once you here, when you get out and land, the problem with getting here is that, or teaching a kid to get here, is that he'll start to try to get there early and he'll end up inverting. So what I do is I teach the front side up, keeps that front side up, and as he gets out to the end of his stride, he pulls down with the front side, not out, but down. Give him more power from the obliques, give him more pull down on the front side. It actually jerks that shoulder up into the slot, pulls the shoulder into the slot rather than around into the 3/4 slot like Aaron was throwing. So it pulls down, gets him on top of the ball, and he comes in behind the ball as he pushes through, driving off the backside, landing. So he'll go 2 here, 2.5, 3, 4, and 5 is the follow through. So one thing that we're looking forward to is to make sure that he's not pushing off his toes. He has a tendency sometimes that when he comes down, if his foot is up, he'll start leaning. As soon as that happens, he'll push off his toes, and it throws him offline. So what we want to do is we want to push off the inset of the middle foot of the foot, the inset of the foot. That way, he's not springing himself one direction. He's actually letting himself go forward as he goes down the hill or goes down the slope. And then once he gets out front, he's going to pull down. That front foot's going to open at the end. It's not going to open early, so he's going to lead with his heel. He's going straight forward. As he gets out front, he's pulling down. Front foot's opening. He's going to stride 100% of his body height. So we're looking for his toes to actually land at Aaron's 6'2". We want his toes to land at 6'2". That's the goal. That way his arm's all the way through the slot. It's not short. He's going to land out front, pulling down, end up in the big V on the backside, and ready to field the ball. So now we're going to go out and I'm going to video him a little bit throwing, and then we'll go from there.